Graduation caps are flying, and as diplomas land in proud hands across the country, the NFL's 2025 offseason hands out its own kind of accolades, the post-draft and post-free agency superlatives. After months of transactions, trades, and high-stakes gambles, all 16 AFC franchises are brimming with optimism. Because right now, in late May, every locker room believes it's ready to contend. But this is the NFL. Not everyone passes the eye test. Some teams made smart, measured moves. Others, they gambled big on aging stars or missed the mark entirely. So it's time to sift through the noise and spotlight the best, worst, and most intriguing decisions across the AFC. Let's dive into the AFC East, where a trio of familiar storylines took center stage, and one storied franchise may have finally learned from a painful misstep. Buffalo Bills, most likely to stay the course. 3 years ago, in the aftermath of a crushing playoff loss to Kansas City, Buffalo's front office swerved from its methodical team-building blueprint. General manager Brandon Beane went all in, handing Von Miller a monstrous 6-year, $120 million deal, nearly half of it guaranteed. The goal? Beat Mahomes. The reality? Injuries, a suspension, and just 14 sacks over 3 underwhelming seasons. Fast forward to this offseason. Miller's gone, and once again the Bills are licking their wounds after another postseason heartbreak at the hands of the Chiefs. The question loomed, would Beane double down on a splashy fix? Nope. He did the opposite, and it might have saved the team's long-term future. Rather than chasing another headline-grabbing acquisition, Beane locked in Buffalo's young core. 4 foundational pieces, CB Christian Benford, LB Terrell Bernard, Edge Greg Rousseau, and WR Khalil Shakir, each received extensions totaling over $61 million annually combined. Meanwhile, Matt Milano agreed to a pay cut to return after 2 injury-riddled campaigns, signaling a collective buy-in from the roster. Then came the biggest headline: Josh Allen's mammoth 6-year, $330 million extension. While the number popped, the real story was structure. Allen left millions on the table in exchange for $250 million in practical guarantees. It was a savvy, franchise-first move being pulled off with quiet brilliance. Buffalo's additions weren't flashy, but they were calculated. Edge Michael Hocht and DT Larry Ogunjobi arrived on modest $7 million deals. WR Joshua Palmer signed for 3 years, $29 million. And the team's biggest roll of the dice? Former Charger Joey Bosa inked to a 1-year, $12.6 million prove-it pact, far less risky than the Miller deal. Could the Bills have swung bigger? Sure, but in an off-season where the Eagles' splashiest moves fizzled, Bryce Huff's big-money signing flopped. While mid-tier deals thrived, Beane's restraint feels wise. Buffalo is betting on its identity again. This time, it might just work. Miami Dolphins, least likely to fix their biggest problem. In Miami, the sunshine is dimmed by one stubborn cloud, the Jalen Ramsey saga. What started as a high-profile acquisition in 2023 has morphed into a financial and football headache. The Dolphins traded a third-round pick and T.E. Hunter Long to the Rams for Ramsey, then extended him with a 3-year, $72 million deal, packed with 2025 guarantees. Now they want out, and so does Ramsey. But there's a catch. Ramsey is owed $21 million this year, including a $19 million option bonus due in Week 1. He already pocketed $4 million in March. That's a massive ask in a league hesitant to invest big in 30-year-old DBS, especially ones with a pair of surgically trimmed menisci and a reputation for volatility. Ramsey showed flashes last season, blitzing effectively and lifting Miami's defense. But his lockdown days seem to be fading. Jets wide receiver Garrett Wilson torched him in December, exposing the once-elite corner on national TV. New defensive coordinator Anthony Weaver tried to maximize him in creative ways, but Ramsey wasn't the shutdown solution he was paid to be. Now Miami's in limbo. GM Chris Greer can't find a trade partner, and unless Ramsey renegotiates or the Dolphins eat a chunk of his salary, he's stuck. Teams aren't lining up to hand over cap space and draft capital for a cornerback with declining speed and sky-high salary demands.